saw a McDonald's nugget in there, and it was like probably 20 years old, and it looked just like a nugget you would eat today. I would never do a tile shower. If a customer wants a tile, I got a guy, I'll give you a phone number. There's a lot of companies out there that offer one-day installs. You don't want that. There is a black mold out there that is toxic. That's the one you want to watch out for, but without knowing, why take the chance? And I see in the very corners that they're using grout instead of silicone. I know there's problems.
Hi, and welcome to the Key Concepts podcast. Today, we're talking about construction and bathroom remodeling. So if you've ever thought about remodeling your bathroom or are in the middle of a remodel, you probably know how confusing it is, how expensive it is, and how frustrating it can be to get everything done right. Today, I'm joined by my special guest, Jason Gailey. He is the founder of Gailey Construction. And Jason, thank you so much for being with us today.
Hey, thank you for having me. This is a pleasure.
Jason, for someone who doesn't know much about construction or know much about what Gailey Construction does, how would you explain it to someone that's hearing about it for the first time?
Well, basically, what I do is I turn something that is either broken and I fix it and make it look amazing. Or if you have something that doesn't look amazing and just want to look amazing, I do that too.
Awesome.
So, my goal is basically to go in a customer's house and put a diamond ring on a house.
Nice. And do you do the whole house or do you specialize in something specifically?
I try to specialize in bathrooms only. I am licensed as a general contractor, so I can do anything I want. But basically, if you keep with one thing, you could really master it and put out a product that is just amazing. So yeah, stick with one thing, master it, and you're not going to have any issues.
Awesome. So it's mostly the bathroom remodels, although you could do more. So if someone was looking to get a full renovation in their house and everything, it would have to depend, right? You would talk to them. But if someone's like, man, my bathroom really needs an uplift, then
sure,
that's what you go to. You go to Gailey Construction for the
it's
bathroom
just, it's just a quick turnaround. I like to do it. It's in and out, less headache for both me and the customers. I've done ADUs, I've done roofs, I've done the whole thing, but I like the bathrooms, My favorite part is actually at the very end when I show the finished product to the customer. That's so rewarding. Yeah.
I'm sure their face lights up. It's probably a 90-day difference. So is it just the bathroom? Is it the toilet as well? The sinks, the cabinets?
So most of what I go in there for is just the wet area only. That's the part that you shower in. But yeah, I do everything. It's top to bottom, paint, trim, floor, toilets, whatever you want.
How long have you been doing it?
I've been doing exclusively bathrooms for about almost 8 years now. And I turn out almost 2 wet areas per week. So yeah, I could do these in my sleep.
Wow, 2 weeks. That means you're very busy. I'm sure it's probably taking a day or two to do each one. When you first got into construction, did you have to go through schooling and licensing to get into this field, or?
When I first got into it, it's kind of a funny story. I actually went into the military. I got discharged and I didn't know what to do at that point. So I was about maybe 19 years old. I joined the union and I went through the apprenticeship program. It took me about 4 years to go through that. I got my journeymanship. And so I became a journeyman carpenter. And I did that for, about 18, 20 years. And I got really good at framing and concrete, everything that goes along in construction. But you get laid off a lot in the union. So I wanted something that's a little more steady. So that's what got me into the bathrooms and been doing it ever since.
Nice. So it was the inconsistency of your work that you're like, I'm going to make the jump.
Yeah.
Tired of getting laid off. Let me just go create my own company and start from there. So how did you get started that first year? Was it word of mouth? Did you set up flyers or marketing online?
Well, I actually started with another company and I learned the trade very well, got in with them and decided, I think I could try this. I'm going to put my hand in there and see what goes on. And I researched what all I had to do to get in and I qualified for everything. So I pulled the trigger, bought it, and now I own the franchise.
Nice. So when you say you own the franchise of what specifically?
So there's a company that produces the acrylic panels that you see here. They have different franchises. Each franchise has different color palettes. And basically, I have exclusive rights to a certain number of palette of colors. And maybe another company has a different set of colors.
Nice, nice. So you get your own specific type of acrylics that you can use for your remodels. But then, I mean, you could do everything. You have your general license, contractor license. So you could do the whole house if you wanted to, but you focused on just the bathroom remodels. But then what led you to focus on that? I know you want to specialize in something, but then like you still got to make the decision. You could have done cabinets, you could have done something else. So
Sure.
like, how'd you pick that?
I picked this for one, it's a fast turnaround and I mastered it. And I figure, okay, I could do a kitchen, but I haven't mastered a kitchen. I know how to make it look good. I know how to do it right. It's going to take me a little bit longer than someone who that's all they do is kitchens. If you're going to hire somebody, just hire someone that specializes in whatever it is that you need done, and you're going to get a great product. So if you want a floor done, hire a floor guy. You can call me too. I'll do it. I don't care. But I'm just saying a floor guy might do a better job. But as far as bathrooms goes, you got the guy right here.
So you specialize in bathrooms, you've been doing it, mastered it. So when people reach out to you and they're like, hey, I need to get my wet area of the shower and stuff remodeled, what are they facing at that point? What challenge are they running into where like, I need help?
Boy, I've seen some. It ranges. Like I could go into a bathroom that looks pretty nice. Obviously I'm going to go in there to make it look nicer. There's a little challenge there. So now I have to really sell my product and tell them why you got to get this, because maybe the granite's not what you really want. The majority of them are tile showers, anything from, let's say, the early 2000s and older. They're going to have some issues. I could almost bet you $1,000 you rip that wall apart, there's going to be mold behind that wall. There's just going to be. They all leak. You could do your best to keep it from leaking, but they're going to leak. So that's what I do mostly is just tile tear outs. It's pretty easy. So when I go in there, I'm taking that out. I'm putting something. It's very easy to show that this is way better than what you have now.
With the tile leaking, what causes the tile to leak though? Is it like the seals or something they go bad over time? Like what do you call it? The grout?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
So a house moves. Wintertime, summertime, maybe the foundation's just settling. The house moves. So when you have a grout line, you're literally got a hard surface and another hard surface, and what binds them together is another hard surface. There's no give. But when a house moves, they're going to get a hairline fracture in there, and that's where you get your mold.
Wow. And then because like the water will seep into that and underneath it,
Yep.
that will accumulate over time, turn into mold. So when you rip these old bathrooms out or the showers and the shower heads and all that good stuff, like what else do you uncover?
A lot of lazy plumbers get in there and do some shoddy work. A lot of times if tearing out a tub, especially upstairs, there's literally plumbing under the tub itself. Like I had to open up the subfloor, reroute the plumbing back into the wall before I could even put my shower pan back down. It gets annoying. But we'll find stuff like that, or maybe it'll be a different type of plumbing that, like a water line that is discontinued. So like what's called Kitex. I might be saying it wrong. Anyway, there's a special fitting that's $20 a pop that we got to use to adapt to ours. And then I tell the customer, look, you're probably going to have to replace these lines eventually. Give me a call. But I know as far as like everything that I install, it's a lifetime warranty. So from basically those fittings on up, you're not going to have an issue.
Yeah. And then you say you do acrylic. So for those that don't actually know what acrylic is, can you explain like what kind of material is that? And is it leak proof? And how is that different than the tile?
So this is a lifetime warranty against fades, cracks, obviously leaks. What it is, the back part of it is ABS, and this part is a laminate of acrylic.
But how do you put it together so there's no grout in between? Is it glue or is it something else? Are they tiles or are they big sheets?
Yeah, so they're basically each shower will have three pieces. You see the soap dish and you see an end wall.
Mm-hmm.
The only seam you have there is right in the corner and at the very base as well. That pan that you're seeing there actually goes up about 2 inches behind the wall. So if for whatever reason, I don't know how it can, but if water did get back there, it's just going to run the backside of this back into that pan, and there's a little seep holes on there that goes right into the drain.
Nice. So the tub is covering the 4 or the 3, I guess, because you got to get into the shower. So even if water goes through it, it's just going to leak right back into the bottom tub. So you're not going to have it going or being really exposed to the back wall or anything else that's behind her. And for this, so it does look like it's one big slab then. And then just at that corner is where you connect it.
Yep.
And you don't have like all these little grout spots everywhere for water that's going to break in through.
And as far as the seam goes, we silicone those with the proprietary RTV silicone that we use. It's color matched to the shower that you're choosing. It is also a lifetime warranty. When I did cut these silicone seams out, I will have to say I did not see any evidence of water that got past the silicone. So it is good stuff.
When you're doing the remodels or the upgrades to the showers and everything, what about like the paint? I'm sure you have to cut some of the wall or something, get some of the stuff out, right? So do you have to paint the bathrooms as well?
There's actually a way that I could do this, that I could cut out your old system and install the new system just past the scarring that I made from the old system. And it is perfect. You don't have to paint your walls or nothing. So I get in, I get out.
Nice.
In 2 days, it's like it's done.
Yeah, so you don't have to really worry about the sheetrock or the paint and then color matching that. You can really work around your current work wherever your cutouts are. What about if you did have to do paint? Is there specific paint that does protect against mold? Is there certain things that you have to use in showers if someone wanted that type of work done?
For bathrooms, I recommend a high gloss, more of like a semi-gloss. What that does is it helps repel the water. I go to Home Depot, I get the Bear paint. It's one of my favorites. I get the Marquee. Yeah, the more you spend, the better it is. It almost paints itself.
So there are different types of paint that would repel against mold and water buildup. With all of the remodels that you've done, which one do you think is your work that you're most proud of, like your favorite remodel?
I have one that probably stands out. It was what's called a California. It's a tub and a shower together. The only thing that really separates it is like a half of a pony wall and then glass. Yeah, I wrapped the entire thing. It was just so much acrylic in that one. It really popped. It was a good color.
When you're on the job, is there any challenges that you normally run into? Any surprises?
Pets. Well, I'm in and out so many times, and if they have a pet like a dog, they just let it run around. I gotta be real careful not to leave the door open. Or that's probably my biggest challenge. Other than that, staircases. That's not really fun. Really tight areas.
Yeah.
Other than that, I've done so many of them. I would tell you they're all the same to me.
It's all a blur. It's like they all look the same. Well, what about a job that didn't go as planned? Was there one that's like, oh man, this is just so frustrating?
Probably the ones that would stand out the most will be the first floor concrete slabs with post-tension cables. So if I have to move the drain or anything's going on, I can't really jackhammer to move my drain where I need to get it. Those are challenging. You got to get a permit for that. You got to find out where the post-tension cables are. Maybe when I first started, I had a few that were challenging, but nothing surprises me anymore.
He's like, I've done it all. Hey, when you're so good, nothing's really a challenge. You just get the work done.
I'm not trying to sound conceited or nothing. It is. I've done so many of them. I don't know.
Yeah, once you specialize in it, it's just like, like the back of your hand.
Yeah.
So that's good. So if someone's watching, you're like, hey, at least I know I'm going to get the work done. I know it's going to get done right. It's going to get done good. Then they should reach out and get connected. What about other contractors' work? When you're in there, do you see like some weird types of jobs that other contractors do?
Oh, yeah.
What are some of those things or shortcuts that they've taken that end up setting out?
For some reason, something just popped in my head. I've done a few where I've done the demo, and there's like a case of beer or something left behind. It's like,
oh my goodness.
But and they're always like the sheetrockers like to throw in their when they strip the ends of the sheetrock pieces, they got this little piece of tape for some reason. They like throw those in there. It's like the dumpster of the house. Every time I demo one, they think, I just make sure I bring extra demo bags because there's going to be something in there.
But that is funny though, how you have tape, probably screws, nails, leftover tools, in this case, beer bottles.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Saw a McDonald's nugget in there, and it was like probably 20 years old, and it looked just like a nugget you would eat today.
Oh, geez. McDonald's nugget? That's nasty. Oh, man. What about like maggots and flies and stuff?
No.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, you find rodents and stuff like that in there, but nothing fresh, knock on wood. But yeah.
Yeah. So of all the materials that you could have chose from, you went with acrylic. So why'd you go with the acrylic style versus a different style?
Well, acrylic is, like I said, I started off in the acrylic company, so I got familiar with it. But as I got familiar with it and done so many demos and so many bathrooms, I realized I've never done a demo on an acrylic bathroom. There's a reason for that, you know? So there's that. Tile, I would never do a tile shower. If a customer wants a tile, I got a guy, I'll give you a phone number, but I can't put my name on tile. I'm not going to. I just seen too much. Granite's pretty nice. It's very heavy, very costly. It is porous, so you do have to keep it clean. It will mold, just, you know. But I chose this. It's hypoallergenic, so it doesn't mold. It's super easy to clean. I literally, like I said, I put this in my rental, and it cleaned up like brand new. I'd done a service call on a shower that was over 10 years old, and it looked like we installed it the day before. I mean, this stuff sells itself.
If it's that good, hey, I need it myself, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Because I appreciate that. The thing that I hate the most is like, man, I got to scrub the tubs, and it's like the older design. Yeah. I think it's when there's houses that are built, I think the builders are just trying to get like the cheapest material, the cheapest things. And so like it'll last you like 5 years, but then the paint starts peeling away, and then the mold starts seeping in and all that good stuff. And I don't like it. You have to get like a shower curtain. Like, you gotta get this, pull the shower curtain back and forth and change them out and clean them. Like, can I just get like the glass or, acrylic or something, so I don't have to constantly clean it or have to worry about scrubbing with all these chemicals and stuff like that to get the mold to go away. So that's the challenging thing for me is, can I get something that's just not going to mold and constantly be cleaned? When you get a job, do they only ever just want the wet area? Because then there's the toilet, and then there's the sink, and then there's the cabinets and stuff. But I guess, is there ever a reason to just do the wet area and not everything else?
Most of the reasons why I go in there are either the systems are really ugly or they're leaking. So they're not really looking to spend a lot of money to get the whole thing done. And a lot of customers, they kind of like to get their hands dirty anyway. So, get the roller out there. They have no problem with that. But the wet area, please leave that to a professional. Please. I mean, anybody could do it. Most people could install a toilet or a vanity, but man, the wet area, just let me do that.
Yeah, leave that. That part is probably a little more complex, and the aptitude for it might be a little bit above just a regular homeowner. So definitely get a professional for just the wet area. So there are reasons just to do that. If your bathroom is already okay and not too much else wrong with it, but it's just this one thing, then hey, perfect.
I will say this though, a lot of customers I have, when they do a wet area and I get done, they start looking around like, oh man, I should have spent the extra money. Say, well, give me a call, like I'll give you a good price. So yeah, sometimes I did go in there and finish the rest of the bathroom. So
when someone is getting their remodel done, let's say they've gone with someone else, is there any like warning signs have to know if the work was done good or bad, or any signals like, oh, this might have to get redone?
Again, tile. I'm going to kick tile down the street. Sorry. If I go in there and I see a beautiful tile job, and I see in the very corners that they're using grout instead of silicone, I know there's problems. That's one of the things I'll look at. I know there's problems. You have two different walls that they're going to move independent of each other. And if you're using grout instead of silicone, that's the number one spot right there.
Yeah. So if someone has just got some work done and there's grout, like, oh, that's already going to be a problem.
And it's a shame because there's some very beautiful showers that I've seen that are made of tile, and I got to take a hammer to it. I'm just looking at this thing like, oh, this is a beautiful shower, man. Someone put some time in this thing, but I don't know if it's inexperience or what it was, but they missed out. It just one little seam is all it takes.
Oh man, what a bummer. Now you have the exclusive rights to this prime bath acrylic material. So is all acrylic material the same, or is it different from provider to provider?
As far as I know, I haven't seen too many of them. If they're done by the BCI company that makes Prime Bath, there's other franchises that go through it. They are all the same. They're just different colors.
Gotcha.
But as far as like anything else besides the BCI products, I can't answer that. I don't know.
What are some of the trends that people are asking for right now when they're doing their wet areas? Is there any common like colors or trims or materials that you are often seeing more than others?
Definitely, we're still in the grays. I think we're going to still be in the grays for a while. These are some earth tones right here that you're seeing. I personally like the earth tone. This is the color I chose for my own personal bathroom. It's just something about it. It's just more warm. It feels inviting. But the grays, you just can't go wrong with the grays. You can see the gray over there.
Yeah.
Another one right here. I keep popping this one up. They like the grays the most. And then there's the chrome and brushed nickel, but stainless steel is actually starting to come in popularity.
Wow, stainless steel.
And I've seen a few that are matte black. I would be careful with matte blacks and say oil rubbed bronze, especially if you have hard water. It's going to be a lot of maintenance. Just want to give you a heads up. There's no product out there that's going to prevent that. You could do stuff like Rain-X or Carnauba car wax, but as far as the actual fixture of the company, they're all going to get water stains if you don't put some type of treatment on it.
Gotcha. So it's I guess more visible. You said the bronze and the matte blacks, but the stainless steel obviously is going to be easier to clean and not less stainable, I guess.
I would say chrome is probably the easiest to keep clean. Along with like the 80s, they had the gold. That's actually making a comeback, but they're making it in brush now, so it's not too bad. I kind of like the brushed gold when you're like your backdrop here with black. It really pops.
Yeah, the black and gold definitely pops. You've been doing this for a little while, so it sounds, 8 years, we'll put it back to 2018, 17, something along those lines. So you had to have gone through COVID and been working all the way through COVID for all this stuff. So during COVID and after COVID, that, now that we're past it, did work slow down or did it like skyrocket during that time?
It was the funniest thing. So before COVID, it was hit and miss. It was pretty slow. As soon as COVID hit, it did the exact opposite of what we thought it would do. It was a complete boom. I think what it was is now everybody's working from home. Hey, I'm home. I could finally call someone to come in and do some work. And that really, really worked out for our industry. So if you're a contractor out there and I think all of contracting, actually, anything that had to do with working on somebody's home, it really boomed. So it was good. And now that everybody's going back to the office, hopefully we'll stick with the trend.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I definitely like the grays myself as well. And I'm glad business has boomed. And so, if it continues that way, I guess we'll see. If you're spending that much time at home, you might as well be in a good environment or something that you enjoy. So during COVID, I guess you wouldn't have run into a challenge. I was going to ask, what was the challenging times of COVID? But I guess it was the opposite. Maybe keeping up with the demand might have been the challenge, I guess, at that point.
That was a challenge, yeah.
What about like speakers and TVs and other like Internet of Things? Are people asking for that stuff to be installed in their showers now?
Actually, as you mentioned it, we did a walk-in tub for this guy. And I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, man, he doesn't look like the type that would need a walk-in tub. I don't know if you know what a walk-in tub is. So this is a walk-in tub. Normally you see, it's for elderly people or something, but this guy was probably about our age. So I was wondering, so when I got done with the bathroom, I came back to do a little service call. I saw he's got a cigar stand over here. He's got a TV set up because this is my personal jacuzzi, man. My wife leaves me alone. I watch the game. I puff on my cigar, have a shot of whiskey or whatever, and then just enjoys it. So I was like, yeah, they're really nice. They have the bubbles, the jets, all the good stuff.
So people are putting in more and more technology in some of their bathrooms. It sounds like
this man. I'm probably going to put one of these in one of my bathrooms, actually.
Now that you talk about it, it's like a personal jacuzzi. Yeah. You don't have to be exposed to the weather on the backyard. You're in the comfort of your home. You get the TV. You got hopefully some ventilation for the cigar. Yeah.
Yeah, we installed a fan as well. But also I'd recommend if you are going to choose one of those, get probably a 50-gallon tank or a tankless. I actually specialize in a tankless water heater, so I tried to sell the water heater along with the tub.
So a tankless water heater, can you explain what that is for someone that doesn't know? Is that like an electric water heater, or is that something else?
Well, it's both. You can have an electric one or a gas one. A lot of people are going solar nowadays, so they want to incorporate that into the system. You will have to probably do a lot of changes to your panel if you choose a tankless, because electric tankless anyway, it's a lot of electricity that goes through those things. Most of what I do is gas. So, but yeah, endless supply of hot water. I actually installed one time at one of my older houses, and we were going to throw a party one time, and I forgot to get the spa ready, the jacuzzi. So I just hooked up a hose to my tankless and just filled that whole bad boy up right there.
There you go. With the
endless supply of water, and it worked. The whole dang thing turned hot. So yeah,
nice. And so is that like direct heat for the water, constant direct heat when you go with these tankless models?
Yeah. So you got, cold water goes in, and you only have probably an area this big where it cycles back and forth through an intense flame. By the time it gets out to the other end, it's 120, 140 degrees. So yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay. So there's like a heating mechanism in it, and the water just passes through and is just constantly being heated on demand as you're using it. So you don't have to preheat it and then use that hot water, run out.
Right.
It's like it's just constantly heated as it's used. Oh,
and it only turns on when you turn your spigot on. That's it. It turns off. So if you go, I don't know, camping or something, you're not constantly heating up water when nobody's home. So it's pretty efficient.
Yeah, that sounds cool. No, I'll have to start thinking about some of the upgrades for my house now that I'm talking to you. Tankless heaters, wet area remodels, and so on and so forth. When someone is thinking about it, when they reach out to you, what's that first phone conversation like?
Tire kicking, a lot of that. Hey, how much this, how much that? And it's like, well, I can't really do that over the phone. I had to see it first. I could kind of give you a ballpark of what a system would cost. Versus, maybe your area is special. So I don't really even want to give them the ballpark, because when I show up and I find out, oh my gosh, that's one of those upstairs with the plumbing that goes through the tub. Now I got to spend all this time opening a subfloor. And, I think the ballpark is more for me than the customer. But if they insist, I guess I'll probably shoot them a little bit on a high number. So when I do actually give them an estimate, it's going to be a little lower and might make them excited. So. I don't know.
That's a good surprise. That's for sure.
Yeah. So if you do get an estimate from me, a ballpark over the phone, just know it's going to be a little on the high side. Let me come out and get a good look at it. We'll give you a better number.
Or better yet, don't even ask for the price. Just come and do the estimate in person.
Mm-hmm.
So when you come on site and do the estimation, like what does that process look like? Do you just take a glance and or do you got to check out the pipes, or do you got to do other stuff?
Well, most of them, like I said, I've done so many of them. They're just doing the wet area. You give me a good photo and send it to me. I'm already going to know basically what I'm up against. So then when I actually show up to your house, it's already done.
And you can verify what you kind of are seeing in the photo. So that's even simpler. Someone doesn't have to schedule you out to come to their house. They can literally just call you, take a picture, send it to you, and then you will be able to tell them based on the photos, like what's most likely going to happen.
Yeah.
But there could still be surprises though, right? Whenever you get into the work.
There can be. The surprises I usually run across are not big enough for me it's just more of like, oh, dang, that took up an extra hour or whatever. Maybe a couple extra fittings for the plumbing or something, but it's not a super big deal. It's not. But yeah, every once in a while, I think the worst case scenario would be dry rot. At that point, there's no contractor on earth that would know that, well, maybe there's some evidence of dry rot, but there's been some dry rot behind the systems that looked perfectly normal. At that point, any contractor would be like, hey, we got issues. We're going to have to address like a change order or something at that point. So.
Have you ever ran into that issue then? I mean, you're talking about change orders and extra, costs at this point if they want to get the work done. Has anybody just like not paid you, and what do you do? Or has that ever happened?
Knock on wood. So far, we're good. We're good. I'm what do you call it? 10 for 0 or so, or whatever it is.
That's good.
I don't know the lingo too much on that, but I've gotten paid every time. So.
No, that's good. Has anybody ever offered you payments in like these weird, obscure ways? Like services, forest services, or maybe cryptocurrency or something else?
I haven't yet, but I am definitely open to it. I've got investments in crypto myself. Silver is going crazy right now. I don't know if you've noticed the market, but hey, if you want to give me some silver, let's do it. But yeah, I've actually I've had a customer offer a car one time.
Nice.
Didn't really need a car, but I would have probably helped him out. I mean, it was for a roof, do some roof job for a car. And like, maybe, we'll see.
Nice, nice. For someone to be successful as a contractor, and more specifically, the wet area of the shower or the bathroom,
Mm-hmm.
what qualities do you think would makes that person successful?
You definitely have to be able to be patient. You need attention to detail. This work is very tedious. Obviously, the demo is really quick. Anybody can do demo. But when it comes to putting it back together, you got to be one of those people that are just, I don't want to say slow, but attention to detail. Yeah. Definitely want to have attention to detail.
Yeah. What could go wrong if you don't pay attention to detail?
It's going to look like crap. No, when I do a product, I try to get in there and I definitely attention to detail for sure. The customers, they just have to look on their face just says, hey, I did a good job. I'm like, that's one of the main things. That's my favorite part of the job. It just is. So I make sure that when I do my attention to detail, every seam, every caulking line, there's you won't see where I picked up and swiped to a different direction. I'll make sure everything is completely seamless. So it looks really good.
Yeah, that's why attention to detail is so important, is because the end product is going to look as one flush unit versus a job that's maybe an eyesore, I guess.
Well, the thing is, you don't really pay attention what goes behind the wall. The customer doesn't. I do, but the customer won't. They're not going to know what's back there. So they're looking at the finished product. That's what sells the whole thing. You really got to pay attention on that last part of it.
When you're dealing with all these customers, I mean, everybody kind of has different personality type and some are more nicer than others. So is there a common challenge that you have to run into or that you do run into with customers?
I've had this one guy that was upset with the previous contractor, took it all out on me. The moment I walked in there, I come in there with a smile on my face. I got a good attitude. And this guy just went kaboom. I was like, whoa, dude. That was probably the closest I've been to actually walking out on somebody. But I understood that, hey, he's not frustrated at me. He is definitely frustrated though. And I took care of the guy and he apologized. He gave me a water. He gave me a tip. Completely different guy by the time I was done. So that was cool that I was able to calm him down and give him a better product in the end. So, yeah.
Yeah, that could definitely be challenging if someone is coming with preconceived notions and then you're the verbal punching bag.
Because there's some bad contractors out that will just give every contractor a bad name. There's good contractors out there. There really are.
Yeah. Well, on that note, is there any misconceptions about contractors that you'd want to clarify? Things that people think that are true but are not actually true?
Well, you get those guys that are a general contractor. Just because you saw it on YouTube, man, that doesn't mean you can do it. Just like I said, stick with one thing and master it, and you're going to be okay. But if I'm going out there and I'm trying to do just because, yeah, I've done some roofs before, but I tried not to unless I just have to. The customer insists, hey, I like you. I want you on this job. Fine. Maybe I'll call a buddy who actually is a roofer and we'll do it together just to make sure it's done right. But yeah, just because I can doesn't mean I will. I'm going to stick with bathrooms. This is what I mastered. You're going to have a much better experience with me. I'm going to have a much better experience with you. It's just going to go so much smoother.
Yeah, I guess the misconception there is that there's specialties within contracting. Not every contractor is the same. So when they specialize in something, go with that contractor, not someone that just says they can maybe do everything. Maybe they can do everything, but maybe the quality of the final product may not be as good as someone who's like, yes, I can, but hey, these are the ones that I know I'm going to knock it out of the park. You're not going to find anybody better than this specific thing.
And with that, if a customer say, maybe I get a call for a bathroom remodel, a kitchen remodel, believe me, there's going to be a lot of subs there. I'm going to sub a lot of that out. I've been in this so long that I know people and I know their work and I trust their work and I've been able to vet them. That's another advantage a customer has with calling a general contractor is this guy comes with people. So I could bring people onto the team that, maybe a granite guy has done nothing but granite. I know that my name is going to be on a beautiful granite countertop, and I know nothing about granite, but my name is going to be on a badass granite countertop. You know what I mean? So it's anything, cabinets, whatever it is, I'll make sure that, the right person is lined up with the right job.
So the way you work is you specialize with like the granite top, the countertops, the cabinets, and so on and so forth. So you have these contractors that you work with. Mm-hmm. How did you find all these people that specialize in these different areas?
Been in a trade for almost 25 years. You keep a book. You keep a book. And if there's something that maybe I don't know about, do your research for sure. Check out reviews. Everybody's going to have bad reviews, but if you're got 300 good reviews and 2 bad ones, I'm going to say the guy's still good. Not everybody's going to be happy all the time. They're just not.
Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, you've been around for so long that the people that do quality work, and that's how you're able to expand your team. Mm-hmm. But when you're first starting out, you probably didn't have that big of a team. So did you run into any challenges like during your early years of doing it on your own?
I don't know. It just kind of happened. It went pretty smooth from the beginning, I suppose. But I try not to get into something that I can't handle. I think that's part of it. There's a lot of contractors out there that they take anything. They're just hungry. They're going to sell you the moon, and then they get in there and they're like, wow, I really don't know what I just got myself into. I'll make it look right. There's anybody can make it look right, but if you open up the wall and you see what they did behind it, it's not good.
Yeah. And as you said earlier, like just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it. Did you get a lot of referrals from word of mouth?
Word of mouth is the biggest. It's hit and miss with these advertisers. You think they promise you the moon too. Oh, we're going to get you so many leads per. No, they're going to get you leads, but they're generated leads. They're not real customers. They're tire kickers or just leftovers from another company. And I don't know what it is, but I still, if you know anybody, let me know. But I can't find the right marketing that I'm willing to put a lot of money into. So for right now, it's just mostly word of mouth.
For the marketing that kind of is hit or miss, what were those marketing things that you've tried?
Don't go with anybody that calls you, for one. There's some companies that they're doing their own kind of branding. They want to show off their own branding. So they open up spaces for advertising on their page, stuff like that. If somebody searches up a bathroom, I'm probably going to pop up in there, but maybe they're not really searching for a bathroom remodel. Maybe they're just, I don't know, looking at a toilet or something. And then, so you're not getting anything. I'm spending all this money, and it's pay per click. That's what it is. Yeah, they're clicking on my page, but that's not what they wanted. They wanted the toilet. They wanted to look at a specific type of valve, maybe. They don't care about a whole system. So yeah, it's a lot of wasted money out there. So.
Nice. So you have some other things up in front of you. So can you kind of show me what's on those pieces of paper? Are these different types of shower heads, it looks like, and other things that go into the bathroom?
These are shower heads here, different types of, these are different things that we do. Like this is a handheld that slides up and down. The ladies really like this because they could turn the diverter to this thing, lower it down so they could shower the whole body but not get their hair wet. That's a really plus on that one. Or maybe you want to wash your dog or something. So there's that. These are niches that go on the wall. There's a stainless steel one right there I mentioned earlier. These here are corner shelves. These are actually corner shelves / grab bars. So if you wanted a little extra grab bar space, you got that. We got the shaving stands. This here's a rain head. Haven't tried that out myself yet, but the customers seem to really like that. This is the handle that comes off. This here is just the different colors of the trims that we have, different types of glass, the rain glass, clear. I always recommend the clear glass because you just spend a lot of money on the system. Show it off, don't cover it up. But if it's a master bedroom, for sure, clear. If it's a 1 bathroom house and maybe somebody else needs to do business, you probably should get some extruded glass if you got to take a shower or somebody else maybe using the bathroom at the same time.
Nice. I like that one that slides up and down. So that one, you said people will use it for like animals because a lot of people have pets. So they could give their pets the shampoo and whatever by lowering that down.
Yep.
And then for the women who don't want to get their hair wet, they could lower it and just get their body, whatever, and then not mess up their hair.
What's also cool about it, not only can you adjust it to a specific height, you could also remove it completely. It's got a wand, so it acts as a handheld. So you can really get in those special areas and stick it back where you want to put them. And a lot of other people that use them are the ADA compliant people, like maybe they have a handicap. So we'll install a bench. We'll install this next to their bench and angle it in such a way where they can sit down and enjoy a shower. They don't have to get up and adjust that big head up there top where they can't even get up anyway. So this way they could enjoy their own private little shower in their corner. And then the rest of the family, they could use the other shed. You just turn off the diverter. And then a lot of the seats that we have actually fold up and get out of the way, but we also have some that are mounted to the walls. So it's whatever you want.
Nice. What other cool stuff, man? That's such a, I didn't even think about it because like my grandmother is getting old and, you know, she's going to need to be able to shower. Mm-hmm. So I could just do the install or, you know, obviously contract that out. There's a bench. You said it could, there's ones that you mount there, but there's some that could be folded away as well. Mm-hmm. And so this is really a niche for the elderly or ADA compliance type of issues. And that shower head could be removed and used so they don't have to get out of the chair. Mm-hmm. And then for someone that does want to use it as well, they could put it back up, slide it up. So it's, what other cool tricks and tips do you have?
Man, you know, if we don't have a bench you like, this acrylic is so nice. So we have a bar that we use to bend the acrylic to different shapes that we want. I will custom build a bench to your exact dimensions, needs, likes, everything right there on the spot on the job. That doesn't happen too often. Most people do like the benches that this company provides. A lot of them recently, we've been, you mentioned the fold-up benches. They were called the teak benches. They were made of teak wood. Now they have a new product that's exactly the same, except you can now get a color match. So you could get, it's made of, I believe, the same material acrylic. So you could get a white one, you get a whatever color you want. I did one for this kid, and he got to design the whole thing himself. And he liked Star Wars, so he called it the Stormtrooper shower. So it was literally black and white, and so his bench was black. And then the walls were white, and then the trim, everything else was black. It really popped. It was a cool shower.
Oh, that's awesome. So you could create different themes and stuff like that.
Yeah, you could theme it out if you want. Have fun with it. Why not, you know? And yeah, we've done some for disabled people where they could actually put their wheelchair, if they have a waterproof wheelchair, it's you could actually wheel up on it. And even they play with it. They, you know, put a little grab bar here, there, different color, different style. Yeah, just because it's 88 doesn't mean it has to be ugly, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. If you could time travel and go back in time and give yourself any piece of advice when you were just starting out in this industry, what would that be?
Yeah, just don't give up. Just keep pushing. You got this.
Just do it. Just do it.
Yeah.
Don't think too much. Just do it. It'll all work itself out. Okay, cool. Just do it. That's great. Good advice. I mean, that's oftentimes people get in the way of their own success. So
yeah,
just do it.
Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Just do it. I do overthink things a lot. I'm actually, now that I'm thinking about it. And that does slow me down because I want it to be perfect the first time. You know, it's like, no, just do it. It'll work itself out. You'll figure things out. And you got to have a learning curve, you know? You want to learn. You want to make mistakes, as long as they're not too bad, and learn from them. And then, yeah, this way when you get hit with it again or something similar, you got it.
Absolutely. Just do it. I mean, that's the only way you learn and master your craft anyways, is by doing it. So
yeah, I've already done all the mistakes, so we're good from here on out.
Well, what areas do you service?
I'd like to stay near home. Everybody wants to do that. So I live in West Sac, but the surrounding areas. So there'd be Woodland, Davis, Elk Grove, Sacramento, obviously. You know, just keep it simple. I don't want to go too far. If I have to do a service call, just nothing sucks but just jumping in a car and driving 2 hours to do a 10-minute job, you know? Mm-hmm. So that's one of the main reasons why I keep it local. I keep my gas down, so my costs are low. Anything I can do to keep the costs low actually will transfer into the final estimate. So I'm trying to keep my overhead as low as I possibly can, keep my prices low. My profits are high. So those are good numbers.
Yeah, that's awesome. So pretty much the
Everybody
greater
wins.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I want a discount too. So the greater Sacramento area, I guess you service those areas. So we're talking about costs. Well, if someone mentions the Key Concepts podcast and they reach out to you and say, "Hey, saw this, episode you're talking about wet area bathroom remodels. Can we give them a discount code?
Absolutely.
Can we say, hey, Key Concepts podcast, can we give them a 5% discount if they call?"
Scratch my back, I scratch yours. 5% for sure, yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys heard it. If you guys are interested, make sure you get the quote and afterwards let them know, hey, by the way, I found you for the podcast.
Not only that, I would like to offer a little extra. So if you're military, first responder, or a teacher, 5% off. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service. I started off, like I said, in the military myself, so I have a little bit. Yeah.
Nice. How long were you in the military?
I didn't get past boot camp, man. I don't know if you can see it on my arms. I have psoriasis. So yeah, one of the special duty physicals, they looked at it and said, "Hey, buddy, I'm sorry, man."
Dang.
I enlisted for the Navy SEALs, actually. So in the process of doing all the qualifications, that's when they noticed it. So
nice. Well, thank you for your service. I mean, thank you for even committing to that. I think that's the greatest honor, is when you sign up to give your life for us to be able to just sit at home, comfortable, doing a podcast, for everybody who's keeping our country safe. So yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad that you connected and are giving back in one way or another. If someone's on the fence about doing a bathroom remodel right now and they're listening to this episode, what would you tell them?
Obviously, if it's something leaks, maybe they don't really have the funds for something. The acrylic is a little on the high end. Like I said, I keep my overhead low so I could compete with the lower cost materials that are out there. So there are some people that can get their foot in the door with some acrylic with me than they would with other companies. But if they're on the fence and I can't get them off the fence, maybe I'm not doing a good job selling. I'm better at installing, trust me. I'm not really good at selling, but I'm trying. Maybe I get a good sales guy or something that knows how to kick people off fences. We'll see.
Obviously, your work speaks for itself. I think we'll have a few of them shown throughout the episode. So I think they're going to get the quality. Really is what I think stands out with going with Gailey Construction versus something else. And we spend so much time in our bathrooms. Like, why not have the flexibility of the newer showerhead, the less cleaning, the chemicals. And I mean, that's what's going through my mind. I was like, man, if I could just get the convenience of not having to clean my shower and the mold spots and stuff like that. Because I mean, you could clean it, but it's just, do I want to?
Yeah.
I don't think I want to.
Convenience, and you also mentioned the quality of it. Imagine, like, say you're going to call like a big company. Yeah, the company itself has a lot of reputation. They got a big name to protect. What if you're able to pick and choose which installer in that company? You would want to get the best of the best, right? I'm a level 3 installer of where I was before. That's the highest you could be. So you're already got the best of the best when you go with me. So I'm not trying to be conceited. I'm just saying, like I'm already up there. So when you go with my company and say maybe I'm not the one doing the install, which most likely I will be. If I do hire somebody, I'm only going to call the best to do my job. My name's on it. Literally, my name's on there. So I want to make sure my products stand out of the crowd from another company that maybe a guy came out, he just got out of training. You don't really know. He's only been doing it for 2 weeks. Maybe he could do it. I've been doing this too long. There's going to be some things you're going to see that you're not really going to like.
Yeah, 100%.
And I will say this, another thing while we're on that point, there's a lot of companies out there that offer one-day installs. You don't want that. I could do that, but you don't want that. So if you want quality, give it a couple of days at least. I like to do 3 days, but 2 days, I could do that comfortably and still give you an amazing product. But one day, there's some corners that you have to cut to get that done. And I'm going to be there all night long. So give me a pillow.
Oh, man.
So,
well, pillows included for free. So, no, that's awesome. Well, speaking of, Gailey Construction, where can people find your contact information, your social media handles, your websites, and everywhere else to get in contact with you?
So the website would be www.gaileyconstruction.com. My personal number is all I'm using so far. I will have a business line here pretty soon. It's 916-868-1170. Again, that's 916-868-1170. Or you can find me at Gailey Construction on Facebook. And you get a few more of my photos on there. You see some of the jobs that I've done as well.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll get that in the description. We'll get that popped up on the channel. So that'll be cool. People that want to check out more, they can go to the website, check out your socials, give you a text message to get started. And if they're in the Sacramento area, great, because that's the area that you service. Jason, is there any topic or area about bathroom remodels that we haven't covered that you wanted to dive deeper into?
There's a lot of materials out there. You got tile, you got granite, you got quartz, obviously acrylic. People do want the best of the best, but they also want a bargain. Well, that over there that's quartz, but it's not really quartz. It looks just like quartz, but you're not spending thousands of dollars on a quartz slab. You're not hiring 3 guys to hang this one panel on the wall. It's just me. But these things look and feel just like the real thing. They're a lot cheaper. In my opinion, I would say they're better because of the hypoallergenic factor of it. They're a smooth surface. They're easy to clean. Quartz, granite, stuff like that, you would have to put a seal on it. You got to maintain them. This is very low maintenance. I like this stuff. I'm like I said, I put it in my own bathroom. So
from the material perspective, I mean, these are going to be just as durable, low maintenance, easy to clean versus some of the other products. So if they want something that I guess is sustainable for the long term, this is going to be the material to go with.
It's a lifetime product.
Lifetime product.
Lifetime warranty.
So if there's like something that goes wrong, what would be something that they would call you for that's like, covered under that warranty?
Actually, the most calls that we have would be right, I don't know if you can see it. So right at the base of the shower pan where it connects to the walls, is a silicone bead. A lot of times people, when they take their showers, there's certain shampoos or soaps, I don't know what it is, but it just sits there. And if you're not drying that off and keeping it clean, it's going to mold. It's just going to, no matter what I put in there. So I do get a lot of callbacks. They want me to go in there and cut that out. And then I'll educate people how to take care of it. It's really simple. Get a little squeegee your walls down. The same towel they use to dry off with, just hit those corners, you're done. And that system will look just as new as the day I put it in for life. Just take care of it. It's real easy. Yep.
Nice. So really it's is it silicone or what is this actually?
Yeah, it's silicone. So it's RTV silicone that we put in, color match to the system you choose. There's the 3 walls. So the back wall is called the soap dish. The end walls are the end walls. It's just the silicone bead that connects the pan to the wall itself. We seal that up. The corners, not so much because the gravity takes care of the water on that. But for some reason, the water just sits there, and nobody. I don't dry mine off either. If you look down in my shower, I got to probably do mine too.
Is there any way to angle it, I guess? Can you put like a 3-degree angle to that thing to let the water like slowly drip down?
So there is an angle to the pan. It's not aggressive enough in my opinion, but I don't think there's anything on the market that does. Every shower I've ever been into, whether it's acrylic, tile, no matter what it is, that's a very, very common problem. So it is mostly just up to the homeowner themselves, the maintenance. So it's not up to the installer or the material. It's more of educating. So I try to help people out, let them know you got to take care of that bottom seal there.
Yeah, that's good to know. Is there any other like good feedback, tips, maintenance with showers in general that people may not know about?
I would probably, if you have a tile shower system, I would definitely call, I don't know who would do it, but they have a moisture meter that would come out and read the moisture meter to the walls and find out what's going on behind the walls.
So the moisture meter, is that to like check if there's water buildup behind it? And if there is, that's a good sign that there's mold back there. So that's a good tip. If someone's like also on the fence, hey, just get it checked out.
I'm actually going to invest myself into a moisture meter. So that's going to be one of the tools I put in my toolbox when I'm doing an estimate. Hey, I'm on a fence. We're like, hey, we'll stick this meter on there. Just find out what's going on behind the wall.
Yeah. When there is mold, what are the side effects that people will get from that?
There are some toxic molds out there. Not all molds are toxic. They could be black and not toxic, but there is a black mold out there that is toxic. That's the one you want to watch out for. But without knowing, why take the chance? Just rip the whole thing out. And when I do my shower systems, I don't leave anything behind. I literally strip it down to the studs. Nothing is left behind. Everything is built back up with brand new products. Yeah, if I'm going to be putting a lifetime warranty and my name on it, I'm going to make sure it's good stuff, So.
Yeah. No, that's good to know. That's good to know that, hey, there could be mold back there, whether it's toxic or not. You still don't want to take the chance.
Yeah.
So just get it taken care of. Awesome. Jason, thank you so much for joining us today on this episode of the Key Concepts podcast. It was super interesting to learn more about the construction, the acrylic, the convenience of it, and everything else that you do. So I appreciate you coming on and sharing that with us.
Thank you for having me on. This has actually been a good experience for me.
For the viewers out there, I think the biggest takeaway from this episode is that bathroom remodeling is not just about how it looks. It's about how it's built, how it lasts, and how well it protects your home. So thank you for watching this episode of the Key Concepts podcast, and we'll catch you on the next one.
All right.
Cool.